Aloha, this is Asia Iyer. On behalf of the Maui Pono Network, I invite you, the public of Maui County, to participate in the Maui County Charter Commission process that is already happening and will be continuing through November of 2022. Now, the charter is so important because it is our county's constitution. It basically details how the county government operates and is run. So anything, whether it be your roads, bridges, parks, recreation, police departments, parts of the justice system, permits, property taxes, all of those things are basically framework by this county charter. So if you have complaints, concerns, questions, ideas about how the county could be run better, now is your chance. So the public has been asked to participate in two different ways with this Charter Commission. The first is by submitting written or spoken testimony about the charter and the ways that you see that the charter could be improved to improve how our county operates. You could call to talk about any sorts of issues that you're concerned about when it comes to the county. And the County Charter Commission will look at how that can be worked into new amendments on the county charter. A second way that you can participate is just by opening the discussion with your family and friends. Talk to them about the county charter. Talk to them about the issues that are coming up in the County Charter Commission, and just help the public be aware of how important this process is. In addition, you can get yourself educated about the issues that are coming up and stay abreast of what's happening, and talk to your friends and neighbors and family about the Charter Commission so that they are more prepared to vote well when it comes to the ballot and the recommended charter amendments in 2022. So it's just getting more representation for the people, and so that we can better take care of our future, take care of our children, take care of our natural environment. You know, all these things that we care about can be better watched over through amendments to the charter and by amendments to how our county operates. So now I'd like to present some short segments of a workshop that Maui Pono Network held in late April of 2021, where we invited the current commission chairperson, Lance Collins, to come and talk about the charter, the history of the charter commissions, and to answer some questions from our guests and audience about how they can participate better in the charter commission process. So I invite you to watch that. I invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, or the website mauipononetwork.org. We'll have more educational workshops about the charter coming up, so stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy these snippets from the late April workshop.
The charter is like the constitution of a state, but it's like the constitution of the county. And its primary function is to describe the executive, legislative, and administrative structure and organization of our local government. But the charter is supposed to be this broad framework that describes how power is allocated in the county government, with the limitations that are placed on it by state law and by the state constitution. So just in recent examples, the question of what is the function and role of the mayor, that was something that was on the ballot this last election. That's one example of something that has huge ramifications and relates directly to the executive, legislative, administrative structure and organization of the county. Council members, what are their qualifications? What is the size of their district? What is the process by which they're elected? All of those things are things that are appropriate for the charter. Who exercises the county's zoning and planning powers? Who's in charge of the police? Who's in charge of prosecuting crimes? Who's in charge of the municipal water supply? Who deals with paving streets, picking up rubbish, dealing with sewage, dealing with the buses, dealing with county civil defense and emergency management? All of those are things that are in the charter and are all things that can be modified by the charter as well. So so the importance of the charter is that, unlike what would occur in an initiative and referendum situation, or what would occur in front of the county council or planning commission, is that the changing the charter affects how all of those bodies operate. that's the purpose of the charter, and the purpose of the Charter Commission is to study how is that going, and is there a need for improvement, and if there is, then those proposals are proposed to the electorate at the next election. So yes, and I should say, sorry, I was going to say this at the beginning, and then I kind of did a detour, that there is more information about like the role of the county and its relationship to the state, and what is the purpose of the charter, in a presentation that Deputy Corporation Counsel Keola Whitaker did for the Charter Commission about a month ago. It should be available on the Commission's website, and hopefully that will be appended to this somehow. And also Dr. Ron Williams, who's a former professor at the Kamakakua-Kalani Center for Hawaiian Studies and is presently works for the Hawaii State Archives. He did a presentation at the last Charter Commission meeting about the history of local governance in Hawaii starting in 1840, and basically talked about pre-American governance in the 19th century. But he also does talk about the early territorial period. It's very fascinating. If you have an hour, I would definitely consider watching the video, if not just running through his slides.
You know your stuff. So I'm really curious what I can do in order to know my stuff as well. So obviously we're all looking to educate ourselves here. So aside from printing out or looking for a copy of the county charter, what other sources could you point to us for as far as our own personal education that we can go to?
So if you have the time to do more than just read through the charter, another area worth looking at or into would be the Maui County Code, because those are the ordinances that the council with the mayor or over the mayor's veto have passed, which basically implement the state law powers through the organization of the charter. And so by going through that, it may give individuals more ideas or avenues to think about what are areas where the county affects the community, where there might be room for improvement. Because sometimes when you read the charter, it's very broad and abstract and general, whereas the Maui County Code is very specific. So obviously the Charter Commission's role is not to change the Maui County Code or the specific legislative enactments that are in there, but if you do have the time and you go through the Maui County Code, it will give you a much better idea of how the charter structure actually affects the day-to-day operations of the county. It's also very, very organized. You don't have to read every single word on it. You can just, go by chapter or go by section and that sort of thing, and give you an idea of and it'll tell you who in the county is, exercising that power. Well, they're exercising that power because the charter says that they get to exercise that power. So that no ordinances never conflict with the charter because they're implementing the charter. So that's why the county code is a great second stop after the charter.
Great. Okay. Thank you, Lance.
Okay. Paul also has a question. Go ahead, Paul.
Lance, if you could just describe a little bit more in detail as how people could actually participate in giving their input, their testimonies, whether they be written or oral, the process of the 3-minute thing and the overview.
Sure. So the commission has adopted a rule that limits oral testimony to 3 minutes. I do think that what is more effective is to have whatever proposals and the reasons for it in writing, and to submit that before the meeting, and then use the 3 minutes to summarize what you consider to be sort of the significant or sort of bang for your buck moments in the discussion that you have in your writing. But definitely this particular commission, it's much more helpful to do it in writing, because that's everything. What we're supposed to do is propose something in writing to the voters. So our job is much more textually based than, say, a planning commission or even the county council. I mean, they also are involved with writing, but a lot of yes/no votes are just based on feeling. So they're not really required to be text based or that sort of thing. So that would be my suggestion. But if that's not how people communicate information, then just do it in the way that you're most comfortable and able to do.
Lance, I have the question. What is the value of having a commission versus just having the council recommend amendments or vote amendments to be on the ballot? What's the value of a commission?
So the idea of the commission is it's sort of like a mini form of a constitutional convention. And so the idea is that it's supposed to allow some cross section of the community to come together and have an alternate opportunity to make proposals to change the county government that might not be able to garner the appropriate number of votes in the council. The hope is that by having a commission, it allows basically an alternate forum that people aren't worried about getting reelected, or they're not, entrenched and so forth. And as long as the commissioners do represent a diverse span of the community, that's possible.
Thank you. We have a couple guests here tonight, and one of them is our esteemed guest, Carolee Kamakona. So I'd like to turn it to her to ask her question. Carolee, do you want to go ahead?
Aloha no. Mahalo for allowing me to be here and participate. Awesome presentation, Lance, as always. Mahalo plenty. No komana'o. People can bring up whatever they want, and you guys are going to determine whether or not it's within your purview, correct?
Well, there's a two-step process. So one is are these things that relate to the county's executive, legislative, administrative structure and organization?
Right.
So if the answer to that is no, then no, we will not further consider it. But of all of the proposals that do relate to the executive, legislative, and administrative structure and organization, for sure, those are all things that the commission should take a look at, all of those issues. And we think of proposing new things, but another thing the commission can also do is excise things from the structure. That is something to also look at. That proposals can be proposals to remove things or to scramble things, or it doesn't have to be just adding new things.
So can you guys add something to the county that doesn't exist in the state?
As long as it's permitted by the state constitution and by state law.
Basic question. As a kupuna who is not ma'a to this technology, how are you going to educate me? How are you going to reach out to me? Are you going to be doing flyers, pamphlets? What? Kupuna want to know.
So thank you. That's a good question. The Charter Commission voted to hire a community outreach person who will basically be working with and for the commission from as soon as they get hired, which can't be any earlier than July 1st, until the Charter Commission ends its mandate.
I hope you enjoyed this presentation. If you would like to watch the entire workshop, the link is available on our website, mauipononetwork.org. If you have further questions or would like to see other issues addressed in future workshops, please let us know by reaching out to us via our Facebook page or via email or on our website. We enjoy sharing this information with you, and we're so glad that you're dedicated and concerned about how our county is run. And it'll make a big difference if we can get some of these amendments that the Charter Commission is working so hard on. If we can get these amendments put into place and just continually improve our county so that it's the best government for this wonderful place and for the wonderful people who live here. Again, my name is Asia Iyer on behalf of Maui Pono Network. Aloha.